to Atlantic Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Leo for the month of February 2022. So Leo, we are in your polar opposite of Aquarius, the element being air. And so your full moon is coming up in this next 4 weeks, full moon in Leo. So let's see what goes on for you guys in this air time. Energy is the Queen of Cups. Intuition, use the intuition, Leo. It's all about receiving. She is the great receiveress, the Queen of Cups. Highly intuitive, so it's time to be employing that as well. Just sitting back, observing and feeling this month, this next 4 weeks. Where you are right now, Leo. 6 of Swords, so nice, breezy, sailing along. Things are just great. There's no storms ahead. Everything is just sort of very, very much calmed down for you in terms of your mind. Everything's in balance, especially mind energy, because it's swords, it's air. So very balanced this next 4 weeks. Perhaps after a choppy time too. Obviously this one usually is it's the calm after the storm, so to speak, Leo. So yet you've come out on top again and you're rebalanced and things are just good. Let's see what has influenced that to happen, and indeed the rest of the reading. And we have the 3 of Swords, so the grief card, the heartbreak card. Yes, for a lot of us it's been quite a bumpy new year, I feel, just generally across the globe. There's a lot of agitation, a lot of heartbreak, and it's still things sort of bringing up a lot of stuff for people that sort of upsets them and makes them very sad. So this is sort of influence around, so just try and go through that, don't avoid it, just sort of go through those motions, especially after Christmas too. Christmas, New Year time can often bring up these really deep emotions of grief and brokenheartedness about whatever it is that in your world. So a bit of that as well. But however, I feel like it's going to get a bit easier for the next 4 weeks than it has been. Quite choppy in that regard. Let's see the background of the situation. So it's December, January, and we had the slow moving energy of the Knight of Pentacles, coins. So yes, that would not be to the Leo's liking. The fire signs don't like slow moving energy whatsoever. It's a very grounded, it needs to happen, that slow moving energy. This sort of young, very faithful, loyal young knight, and that's his energy, and he gets on with things. He's a methodical plotter, but he gets there in the end. He always sort of triumphs, but he takes the very long time. It's very slow. So this, therefore, for you guys, being fire signs, would not really, you'd be getting itchy feet with that kind of energy around. And it's still around a bit, so just be mindful of that as well. But you will come out well after this time. It's just how it's all sort of come to pass, I presume, in terms of cards and interpretation. Sometimes we just are cautioned to be slower with things than usual. And plus Capricorn time too is often methodical plotting time. The Capricorn's very earthy people, and sometimes the likes of the fire signs just don't like it at all. It's too slow. Recent influences. But we are with the star, and the star always reminds us that we're exactly where we're meant to be in the world, on our path, on our journey, whatever you want to call it. moving forward all the time, let's not forget. But yeah, very much it's sort of like a reaffirming card to say, well, this is how it's going, this is how it is, so don't try and manipulate it to blame this or that. It's just, it is what it is, basically, with the star. And the star is indeed the card, the major arcana card for Aquarius, which is the inventive, very highly intellectual card. Very much the inventors of the zodiac are the Aquarians. You'll find them there at the forefront, but just always moving along their path, keeping the goal in mind and knowing they are where they're meant to be. Okay, let's see your lesson for the next 4 weeks. And we have the Fool, so new beginnings coming in. So despite the fact we have had slow, methodical plotter energy here, and we've had a bit of sort of rocky, choppy business in our mind energy as well, and now we have this new beginning coming in. Many of us will be going back after the holidays, especially here in the southern hemisphere. Summer holidays are coming to a close, so it's time to sort of get back on the horse and get back into the groove of, you know, the year ahead and what we want from it and how it's going to be, which pleases Leos incredibly because they like to be they're action people. So nice new journeys coming up and new books to start. Near future, so moving into the first week of February, we have the 10 of Wands, so feeling a bit sort of spiritually drained there a bit. All this broken-hearted energy too, and mind energy is a bit too much for the Leos, the fire signs. They're like, oh my God, because they like to be full pelt, full tilt. They don't, you know, well, I've got that going on, but I've still got to do all this other stuff. So just try and slow down a tad there, Leo. Don't burn out, you know, refuel that spiritual, and it is energy. People often think it's just exhaustion, but with people like the fire people, that their energy is everything to them, and it's high octane. So if you're feeling a bit like that in beginning in the week's time, just put on the brakes a bit there, Leo. What's happening that you're not realising? Happy home card. So everything, despite all this stuff going on for you, Leo, the happy home card is the happy home. You've got your home and you're sorted and you're happy, and that's your sanctuary. Don't forget that, especially with all your movement and going on and all that's been going on in the world for all of us. It's been intense and high voltage. And there's no rest from it, but our home is the place where we just find there is a peace there. Don't let the outside world in, so to speak. So always remember that. It's also a consolidation card too, I might say, Leo. So things are really going along well and you are getting to where you want to go, but just remember there's been a lot of other influences coming in from those big outer planets there that have been causing confusion for the last 2 years, and they are still at play, despite the fact we have turned into a new year. That sort of landscape or planetscape is still the same. It's still trundling through. Let's see how others see you. Offers coming in. Very emotional, young emotional energy here. Very immature sort of energy in a way, but it's also this can be offers coming through. Just be careful with this too, Leo. I think try to be sort of just hang in there too if some offers come through or people are going to offer you this and that, but it's very emotional kind of an offer, so just be really err on the side of caution with that think it through properly before accepting any offers. You know, bring the whole big picture into being, because the other people are seeing you as, oh, well, you know, oh, I think they're fantastic, let's just offer them this. But there's something very sort of immature about this offer that for you, Leo, just be, yeah, scrutinise it carefully, in other words. What you're feeling positive about, this will lend an answer to that. 8 of coins, beautiful card. So lots of promise this year, lots of doing really well in career, especially career work, or just basically what you do and what you love to do or what you like to do. Sometimes we don't like our work either, we have off days, but this is just getting to where you want to be, and perhaps bringing something new in that you've always wanted to do this year is very much on the cards as well. But you've worked long and hard for this, so this kind of cancels out that. So if people come offering things that seem a bit too good to be true, they may be. Stick to what your plan is anyway. Don't be sort of swayed by overly emotional offers just yet. Let's see the outcome. And we have the Hermit, so very much being wise and just standing back. Don't accept anything just yet. This is the card for Virgo, so it's about that, it's sort of standing back. It's about that slow moving energy once again. It's about just waiting for things to come to pass. Don't be rushing, because it needs to really be finely tuned and finally honed before you sort of set it in motion. I'm just going to pop a clarifier on that Knight of Cups there, Leo, because we'll see what's underneath that, because it's a lovely card, but then sometimes it can get you into a bit of trouble, especially when you've already got there what you want. You know, you've already sort of thought it out. You don't need to go off on a tangent there. Underneath it is indeed 5 of Wands, so maybe being held back, someone trying to hold you back with, distracting you with other offers. Just be really aware, because it's not as strong as this 8 of Coins. This is 8 of Coins is what you know well, and this is what you're positive about. This is somebody or some organisation coming in and almost distracting you from where you're going to be. So maybe thinking, I do. No, you don't. You just go with what you need. And with the Hermit sitting at the outcome, it's like just wait. Just watch and wait and observe for a bit before you sort of jump in. Interesting, Leo, very interesting. And that goes with everything. It's a general reading, but you can apply that to almost everything. Patience is your message. At the end of the way is freedom. Till then, patience. Patience is a fine, noble quality. It implies that everything is possible in the timelessness of space and being, and a deep knowingness reminds you that nothing can fail you but your own impatience. I rest my case. Thank you very much for listening. It's an interesting month. Thanks, Leo.